We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast. And I have amazing hosts with me today. I have Megan from South Africa. I have Jackie Zaccoli from Her Heart's Global, along with mine. I have Raksha from Miami. She's also global. And then I have Pramelia from Canada. And I think she is going global also. And then we have an amazing guest today. I'm very excited to see what Boundaries Coach is all about. And Elmari, and is it Schulte?
Schutte.
How do you say it?
Schutte.
Scatta? Scatta. Okay,
Yes.
Elmari Scatta. Okay, got it. And we are very excited to hear what she is up to and how she really makes a difference in the world. Okay, so Elmari, come and join us and share your story and inspire many of us.
Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate that. And thank you for all the hosts joining today and for Amelia Parham from the Healing Institute supporting me here today. I really appreciate all of you. Yes, it's always interesting to me if I have to do something like that, where do you start? Because it's a life story and you can't really tell the whole story in a few minutes. So I'd want to start with, I've always been a sensitive person. Later on in life, I realized that I am one of the 20% of population that is highly sensitive. So as a child, I was always taking on energies from everywhere, not knowing really what to do with that. And as a sensitive, I wanted to help everyone. I wanted to heal everyone, make everyone feel better, take on their pain and join in and make sure they are comfortable. And that led me to bad relationships where I was doing too much, giving too much of myself. And bad workspaces, not that the workspace is bad, but never saying no, just taking on more and more and more. And that led me to burnout at some point. And even to a space where I didn't sleep at night, trying to relax, trying to take a bath in the middle of the night. And at some point, one morning laying in this bathtub, this thought came to my mind like, Elmari, if you put your head under water, all of this will be over. And that was the turning point for me. There I realized that something is wrong. I cannot continue my life like this. This is not going to work. And then I got help. I've met with a counselor. I got help. I started on a journey of recovering and letting go of relationships that's not working. Starting to stand up for myself in my workspace. And I realized that I can do this. I can move forward. I can be better. And I can be better for everyone if I take care of myself. And I realized that taking care of myself means I have to put boundaries on what I give, what I do, how much of myself I'm giving, how much of my energy I'm using in any space. So that's where I started on this journey of creating boundaries and helping people with boundaries. And it wasn't up and down travel. It's never easy. It's never just one thing. It was like trying this thing out and trying this thing out and trying this thing out. And all of which was helping in my healing journey. But it wasn't the answer. It wasn't exactly what I needed until I realized that if I don't put boundaries about anything that I'm doing, around everything I'm doing, I am not serving myself and not serving anyone from a space where I'm good enough to do this, where I have enough energy to do this. So that was the journey to boundaries. And then I started working along this journey. I also realized from a child I wanted to not be in a full-time space, a full-time employed, because as a sensitive, I know there was so much I can give people, and being in a 9 to 5, there wasn't enough time left to do any of this. So I've been trying different things out. At some point, I was a copywriter, and couldn't do that full time. Fortunately, I couldn't do that full time, because if I did it full time, maybe I wouldn't have landed on Boundaries coaching. So I was traveling between jobs, doing different jobs, and then still trying to find exactly how I'm going to do this Boundaries coaching. And right now, I'm ready to serve the world, and especially serve women with boundaries coaching. And my motivation for boundaries coaching is not just boundaries coaching is a broad subject. Boundaries is a broad subject. The people don't really understand what it is. So there's a bit of education to that. What is a boundary? A lot of time people think boundaries is a brick wall that you put up around your heart, specifically around you, so no one can enter and no one can be part of your space. But that's not what a boundary is. The boundary is basically putting up a fence with a gate, and you have the key to the lock. You can open and you can close. You allow who you need in that space, who's energizing you, who's contributing to that space, and you don't allow who's not energizing you, who's not contributing to your space. So I'd like to share, people to know that boundaries is not something that is a big scary thing that you have to hide yourself away from people. It is to allow what is healthy for you and bringing that into your space. So oftentimes we don't also know where is boundaries important. We may just think immediately boundaries is to keep people out, but boundaries is also about my relationships. It's more about relationship, but not relationship just with people. It is relationship firstly with myself. What do I allow myself to do? What don't I allow myself to do? And why do I do that? That's why I like to talk about intentional boundaries. Because oftentimes we put up a boundary that is not intentional. For in case if you're a mom with children and you're working all day and you are frustrated, you're driving home, your kids are doing something and you shout at them. You are upset, you shout at them. There you are putting up a boundary that says they will understand it, that if mama's upset, she's going to shout at us. So we shouldn't talk to mom when she's upset. But that's not an intentional boundary. That's not what you wanted to do. You should actually go back into your day and see what is it that frustrated you. And there you should put up an intentional boundary instead of putting up unintentional boundaries just in the moment. So that is why I want to focus on boundaries in relationships with the people that you love, but then also I want to help people with boundaries about their thoughts. What do you think, for instance, about money? And what do you allow? What influence do you allow to make your choices, to influence your thoughts about money? That's also an important thing for me. And then anything that you are doing on a day-to-day basis, are you doing that intentionally, or are you just influenced by whatever is around you? We are talking often, we hear, oh, this is Zoe, just to say hello. I'll take her off this table now. She's a woman that wants to join into women's meetings. Oh, there's the face. So I'll just move it over there. Okay. So
we include it.
Okay, thank you very much. So where was I? She's interrupted my whole story. Yes, so I want to help people with boundaries around everything, and especially their thoughts. And if you're thinking about things like social media that is taking over so much of our lives, and we shouldn't allow that. We should have a boundary about how much social media we let into our lives, and what do we look at on social media? So that is, so there's so many things that we can say about boundaries. And if we don't have boundaries, whatever is coming in is going to control us. If we can create our own boundaries, we put our boundaries that's good for us, we are in control of what's coming into our lives and what is influencing us. And then I always like to share the first thing. When anyone asks me, how do I create boundaries? The first thing you can do in any situation to create boundaries is ask yourself, if I say yes to this, am I saying no to myself? So if you think about it, how many things do we in a day say yes to without considering how is it going to impact us? So I want to end off with, if I say yes to this, am I saying no to myself?
Wow. Very powerful. You have a little more time. If you'd like to share a little more with us, because this is fascinating.
Okay.
Boundaries are so vital in our lives. So vital. So, yeah, share a little more with us.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to share then a little testimonial, if you don't mind, from a client of mine. It was looking at employment. It was a person working in a shop next to me, and the one day I was walking into the shop, and he was so upset. He said like, this is such a bad job, and he's in such a bad space, and everything is just going wrong here, and he's giving his all. So why is this happening to him? And he said like, earlier that day he went to the doctor, and the doctor booked him off for some time, and she said to him, if you don't stop stressing, if you don't stop being so upset, you are heading to have a heart attack. It's not good for you. And I said to him, so do you think there's anything I can help you with? And I said to him, I am a boundaries coach. Let's talk about the boundaries that you have. And he said, well, he's good with boundaries. He can walk out anytime that he wants to, and that's not a problem for him. And I said to him, okay, if that is true, why are you heading for a heart attack? And he said, no, that's not true. It's not because of boundaries. And I said to him, but if you are still here in this situation, being told by a doctor that you have to be careful, where do you think this is coming from? And then he started to think about it. And I said to him, the boundaries, and we talked a bit further, and he said like, he is upset because the factory is not delivering, and all the clients is coming to him, and no one at the factory is answering the question, and so this is not working for him, and he's working on a commission basis aside from he's working on commission basis, and the commission is not getting paid, and his salary is being paid late, and he doesn't know if he's going to, every month he's struggling. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to pay his rent and to pay his bills. So he's upset with this. And I said to him, so it looks to me that the boundary you should have put in place was that first time that the salary was late. You should have put a boundary in there and say, no, this is not acceptable. What are you going to do about this? I'm giving notice, or you should do something about this. You cannot say to me that you are good with boundaries, and you are at this space where you are heading towards a heart attack. And then he phoned his boss, and he said like, this is not working. And he did some work around that, and then no one budged. So he was very, very strict about it. He said he's putting in a boundary, and he resigned immediately. So I don't want to propose to anyone resign immediately, but I want everyone to go look back at where is the problems coming from. The problem didn't start today. If you are upset, if you are really in dis-ease, the problem didn't start today. You have to go back to where this started, and you just need to implement boundaries right there.
Wow. Wow. Yes. Normally, when things aren't working in our lives, There's usually a boundary that we are not setting in place a lot of times. And I love that you are out there and a boundary coach. I've never heard of one before. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
Wow.
you.
Okay, so guys, who has questions for Elmari? Okay, so Elmari, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm all about future generations, our young people. And my question is this. What is the question they should ask themselves as they're starting on their journey? They're just getting out of school. They're going to start their journey into what it is that they want to do in life. What kind of boundaries should they start asking themselves very early on in this journey that would really support them to even continue to look where boundaries should be set?
Thank you, Carol. I really appreciate this question. My heart is really for young people. So one of my dreams is that in every household, there should be a person with healthy intentional boundaries. So they can be the example for children. Because a lot of us don't grow up with boundaries. We are taught that you have to serve, and it's not good manners to say no. You have to be available for everyone to what for their needs and what they want from you, and that is not healthy. So I would say if you just start, you finish school perhaps, and you're just starting on your route to be an adult and to serve this world and serve the people around you, you should be very sure about what you need before you start looking at everyone else's needs. And then the question may be the same. If I say yes to this, am I saying no to myself?
That's a beautiful thing. It really is, because just like you said, we aren't taught boundaries. As we're growing, we aren't really taught boundaries. We're taught
Yes.
not intentional boundaries, which is what you spoke of. We're taught reaction boundaries.
Yes. Yes.
People reacting to things and creating boundaries in the moment, and then not even any consistency around the boundaries. So
Exactly.
I know. So thank you, Amari, for being out there and being somebody that can look in people's lives and go, wow, you want to look here. You want to look and see what's going on here. Um, wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got some more people that have questions. And Raksha, go ahead.
Yeah, so Emery, I work with women over the age of 50, right?
Yes.
And what I find a lot is we've been conditioned to take care of everyone else. We don't take care of ourselves. What is one of the three things that women our age or my age should be looking at, because at this point a lot of changes have happened in our lives. Many of us are becoming empty nesters, many of us are being aged out of career path. A lot is going on with us. Our bodies are not doing what they used to do before. So how do we create those boundaries when somebody doesn't? Do you have like a checklist? Do you have a workshop or something and that you offer people if they wanted to reach out to you or anything? Because boundaries is honestly, it's like your life plan. And nobody teaches us this. Everybody teaches us to be nice, play with everybody, but nobody tells us this is it. You can't do this to me anymore.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Roger, I so appreciate your questions. Thank you very, very much. It is very important to look at women and when it comes to boundaries, because oftentimes we find that men, it comes easy to them to say no if they are not comfortable in that space. We as women has been taught to serve, and have serving hearts. We are created in that way, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. but we need to have the energy and have the capacity to serve before we serve others. And I don't have a quiz right now or a workshop. I'll look into that. It's a very great idea. Thank you very much for that. But I want to offer a few suggestions. Maybe like you said, like 3 things. I'll offer 3 suggestions. The first thing will be, if you have lived your life until the age of 50 and never thought about boundaries, always just following through on what everyone expects from you, the first thing I would suggest is to start with creating boundaries within yourself, within your space. There where it's a bit easier, where you don't have to address people or say something that may escalate into an argument or something like that. Start with yourself and say to yourself, like, if I choose to go run in the morning, am I saying yes to myself in this? Is it good for my heart? Is it good for my body? Or should I perhaps start by walking if I've never ran in the last 20 years or something like that? Should I start by walking? Or if I choose to eat something, am I choosing this because I'm used to eating this, or am I choosing this because it's good for me? To start by creating boundaries within my small space, within myself, within the things that I'm doing. And then the second thing is I want to say, start out soft boundaries with the people immediately next to you. So if you don't like cooking, or cooking is not energizing you, but you are the one that's preparing meals every day, it's not wise to just stop cooking, but try out something that is a bit different, like maybe suggest to someone close to you, would you help me cooking this dinner once a week, perhaps, or something like that. Start creating soft boundaries that is including people like that. And then thirdly, when you are comfortable with that, start looking at boundaries with the people around you. Look at everything that's in your life, every way that you are serving people around you, and look at it and say, if I say yes to this, am I saying no to myself? And if the answer is yes, I'm saying no to myself, then look at a way to implement a boundary without arguing about it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So would you suggest like journaling about it?
Yes, that's a beautiful way. Yes, well, of course there's a few ways to yes, to find yourself, find your own space in boundaries, to find your feet in creating boundaries. Journaling about it is a good way. Journaling is always, for me, when I journal about something, I can feel like thoughts are blocked up in my brain. And I feel like when I'm writing, it's channeling out of my brain, getting direction and making sense. So journaling is a good way. And I don't know if any of you know about emotional freedom tapping, or EFT. That's also a good way to start implementing boundaries. To talk to yourself through, this is the thing that I'm saying, where I'm saying no to myself. And as you stalk out what is this doing to me? How is it influencing me? And how will it be better if I start saying yes in this instance to myself?
Beautiful. Okay, we've got more hands up. All right. Permilia, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say congratulations, Elmari. You did an excellent job, and I love the example that you gave because that's a perfect example of how that gentleman didn't even know. He thought he was setting boundaries for himself, but in fact he wasn't. And I love the way you express that we have to set those boundaries within us first. We have to start
Thank
with
you.
us first, so we know what we can accept and what we can't accept. And
Yes.
as Rasha said, we're not taught how to do that, especially as women. We are not taught how to set those boundaries and how to say no. And we're not taught that when we do say no, it's not selfish, because that's certainly how I was raised. It was being selfish and self-centered if I did anything for myself. And
Yes,
now
that's true.
we now realize self-care is not selfish or self-centered. Self-care is so very important.
Yes,
So I
Mm,
just want to
yes.
say thank you. I'm so glad I was
beautiful.
here today.
Thank you
Beautiful.
very much. I appreciate
Beautiful.
you.
Okay, Jackie, go ahead.
I'll make it fast. I am impressed with the whole way that you've presented all of this and this. If what is being said is yes, is that no to me? And I really like that. And I like the concept that and I always inject to you once when people realize they're 100% responsible for what happens in their life. That's a real hard nut to crack.
Yeah,
When even though somebody's doing something that you have no control over, your response you do have control over. So
yeah,
just having those two together, I think, is really important.
Mm,
And to go to the cause. I think the cause is really a great concept. They blew up. Well, what happened? What was the cause of all of that? I think those are all important. My question to you is, what is your goal?
mm.
thank you for that, Jackie. I appreciate it. Um, my goal is, like I said, it's my dream, and I know I'm like trying to eat a lion or eat an elephant, as they
You don't eat
say.
elephants. Nobody eats elephants. Please don't go there.
No,
I have yet to see anyone eat an
eat an
elephant
elephant.
or to see one in a room. I'm
When
sorry.
last,
I don't go for it. Try
when
something
last have
else.
you been in Africa, Jackie? Come
I
now.
know, but come on. How many people eat elephants? Have you ever seen it, Megan? I mean, you're in South Africa. Have you ever seen anyone eat an elephant?
We try every day. We try every day.
It's like skinning a cat. Don't get me started. How many cats do you want? Do you want to skin your cat? Give me a break. Don't go there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, so let me just say this is going to be a huge task, and I am up for it. And I know I'm not going to, I cannot change every part of the world, but I can do my small piece, and I can help more people to do this.
Mhm.
My goal is, like I said earlier to Carol, I want to see in every household an example to all children of people with healthy, intentional boundaries.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So I want to ask you something. I want you to come and be a guest speaker in my program and talk
Mhm.
about boundaries. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I want you like yesterday to be a guest speaker in my program. You and I will reach out to you and I'll give you some dates that you can choose from. My guest speaker only has 15 minutes, but oh my gosh, you're powerful. Please bring that because I don't really teach, so to speak, boundaries in the program. I teach mindset and what they can do with a thriving mindset with boundaries.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much. This is huge. I have to put my hand on my heart for a moment. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. And yes, I am open to joining you on your program. Thank you so much for the
Oh
invitation.
gosh. Marie, I will be reaching out to you and giving you some dates for you to be able to come and see what we are up to and doing. But you just brought a piece that I don't have time to teach. I teach mindset and the 7 pillars for thriving, but you teaching boundaries around those 7 pillars, around mindset would be just, well, it would explode. Why, yay.
Thank you. I can see how that can work together. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Megan, you have a hand up. Go
Thank you, Carol. I'm very glad the topic went this way because my question to Elmari, and thanking her for being here and sharing with us. I'm loving the way it's rolling out in your space, Elmari.
Thank you.
Aksha mentioned the conditioning, the grooming, and so did Amelia and a few others earlier. And from my perspective, from a youth and children's work perspective, there's just one thing that I want to ask you from your perspective. How do we step into that space gently with our kids in the sense that you do not want to turn them against their parents necessarily when you speak about these topics, and it has to be handled and introduced with kid gloves, and showing them that it's not a type of rebellion, and neither is it the selfish route to take, as Jackie mentioned, but it's that thing that you need to find when you find yourself. It's part of that equilibrium that you need to find for yourself. So what would you say we can figure out in terms of the kids to go for it and how to approach this topic when we are
Megan?
speaking to the youth?
Thank you very much for the question. I really, really appreciate it. It's like we've come across the board right now. It's like from 50s to the young kids. And
Yes.
I know your heart is in literacy, and I can just see how you can implement programs where children practice this among each other. Where we have like two kids standing up and saying, something that offends me, I'm one of the children, and let's say it's me and you. And I say, Megan, you are stupid. And then you can create a boundary that says and say to me, like, I am not fine with you saying that, but I choose to react in a way of not reacting to you, but respond and saying, I don't appreciate what you are saying, but I accept what you are saying, and build a program from there on to teach children to create boundaries among themselves without trying to be disrespectful or show them that they need to be disrespectful towards their parents or elders. And then I think in a literacy space, it's very important to teach the educators about boundaries and how they can be the example for the children to have healthy, intentional boundaries.
Yes. Love it. Thank you, Elmari. So
So
let's get on it.
beautiful.
Let's get on it.
So
Yes.
beautiful. All right. So guys, wow. Elmari, I'm so glad you're out there in the world, and I'm so glad you stepped down from your job and that this will be your passion and your energy and how you will monetize it, how you will make money and bring many, many clients to you. We need people out there with healthy boundaries. We really need people out there with healthy boundaries. So thank you for being an amazing guest on our podcast.
Thank you, Carol.
I want to thank everyone. Guys, if you love these episodes, please share them. Please comment on them, and please subscribe to our channel and share it just with everyone so many young people can hear this kind of information. This would have opened so many doors for me when I was first starting out in my journey if I had had this. So I want this to reach so many people. So if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, please reach out to one of us. We're all over LinkedIn. Reach out to one of us and say, hey, I'd love to come share my story. And guys, one more thing, and that's this. Your story is special. And it's special because it was your story. You don't have to have something that's so amazing and off the charts. You just have to have your story and bring your specialness to this platform, and we will promote it. We'll push it out to everyone so they can hear your story and be inspired by it. So don't think you don't have something to share. Every woman out there has their own story. So please join us again. We do these on Mondays and Fridays. Please join us again and be inspired. Share this with everyone. Thank you, guys. Oh, and we all deserve to thrive. Let's do it together. Bye, everyone.
There's no divide.